Boom! Oh my god. There it is. Hopefully this is working. I see the captions coming through, so I think we're golden. Hello, everybody out there in internet land.
Good evening, everyone.
Normally about this time we would do an insane recap. Which, I mean, Prim, if you're just dying to do one, I don't mind. But
look, the recaps are for the main sessions. I don't do them for the roundtables, so you're gonna have to wait for 2 weeks.
Well, I was hoping for a recap from the last roundtable.
Oh god.
The last roundtable was the big fuck off recap of everything that happened in Cairn so far. Listen.
Where were we even in the story at the last roundtable? What was the last thing that happened then?
We were about to start, like, the Uncanny Odyssey arc, and I think in Cairn, crap, I think we had just gotten underground with Cairn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I will say
short version, we've been in space.
You've been in space. You'll notice, first off, the brand new overlay just for this situation, this event. You'll see in the upper left, and upper right. There's only one left, unless you're dancing with me. You'll see in the upper right and the upper left, there's a whole little like slideshows going. They're just images from going all the way back to the beginning, really. So it's just memory lane kind of scrolling along there. You'll see a lot of familiar scenes.
History of Cairn.
Oh, yeah. You'll see a lot of familiar scenes, familiar faces. And in speaking of familiar faces, you might see a new one there on the main screen there. Would you like to say hello, my dear friend Simon?
Hi, guys. It has been a while since I was last here.
This is true.
Longtime viewers, the true old heads, may recognize Simon.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah. The weird guy with the British voice, indeed. Yeah. So.
Should we roll out the lengthy scroll of characters that you've played?
4 of them, I think, altogether, maybe?
Is it 4?
I think it's 4.
Cinder, Casey, Kaz,
and Belethir.
Belethir. Well, wait, wasn't there one more? No, that was a maybe. That was your assassin.
Yeah, there was a maybe, and then yeah.
That's right. It was an assassin.
Yes. Currently appearing, returning to his role, hopefully, as Cinder.
Yes.
Please. Please. I need to stop being you. It's not working.
Master Miss has put in the hours.
Please come back.
Keep the flame alive.
Yes. Well,
it's getting weird again.
It did get weird.
I mean, listen, we're probably all going to be playing 2 characters, like, in short order anyways, considering, yeah.
But we don't want to make Master do 3.
No.
She probably
would. It's going
would.
to stay weird, is what I'm saying, basically.
It's only going to get weirder.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be great having Cinder back. I mean, especially after he melted all over 2 of the other characters. I feel like there's a little part of him that goes with them everywhere. Yeah. It was a triumphantly notable death because he sacrificed himself in a horrible way to save 2 other people. And
you soaked a lot of damage with that one.
Yes, you did.
And provided an answer to the question, how can prestidigitation seem rude?
It's true. It's very true. So, guys, I first I just want to say, it's been a fantastic 4 years for me as a game master, and I don't think I tell you guys that enough. What we've achieved here as a gaming group with like a split 4-year campaign that's all interconnected with the same players and characters that have gone this long. This is a rarity in the gaming world. Very uncommon. Most games peter out after a couple weeks, let's be honest. So you guys have made the entire experience incredibly memorable for me. You've been huge helps as far as patience and helping with creative aspects and playing your roles to the T and embodying the personalities of your characters and really getting behind the quest. Yeah, that's the right news. Thank you. It is an amazing chemistry. But I just wanted to throw that out there before we begin and say thank you very, very much for your contribution to my insanity. You've enabled me.
Humbly accept the thanks. Our hats are off to you, Church. That has been an absolute marathon run of good times, fully enabled by you. We all appreciate it dearly.
Oh yeah.
It has been fun.
You got the master miss of approval.
That was classic. that was actually high praise for Master Miss, let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
I love
I
this
was
group.
smiling when I said it. You can practically hear it.
I could hear it.
We
I could hear
literally
it.
could.
Yeah.
I could hear it.
It's been 4 years. We can hear the smile.
Yes, we can. Yes,
We can hear the smile when you don't make a noise. That's the freaky part.
There's
Right there, I could tell there was no smile.
There was the evil smile. It's funny
That was
that
not a smile moment.
Istu's picture just flashed up as you were saying that too. So,
Yeah.
just to throw it out, to kick things off, Simon, you're back with us. You've been in both campaigns. You've actually played some fairly pivotal roles here and there as well in both campaigns. The only thing you think you missed out on was the very beginning, which we'll forgive you for that.
Yeah,
we didn't know you.
stuff.
We didn't know you then, so I mean, we can't fault you. Do you have any? I'm curious. Do you have any favorite moments over the course? And it could be either campaign, but
I mean, there's been a couple. The big massive fight with the Elder Brain and the Mind Flayers was quite a spectacular fight,
Yeah, that was
especially as we went that entire fight without Grim.
It was like 95% ghostless.
It was just like, hey, you're gonna take part anytime soon?
The sequel to the fight was even better, where we went 95% of the fight without breathing.
oh yes.
Yeah.
I got my revenge. I got to save all y'all's asses along with this too.
This is true. This is true. It did come full circle. That was fun. That was fun for me to throw that at you as well. But yeah, I have to admit, you guys are tough. You're tough players. You're a tough party. I have constantly got to try and rack my brain to come up with new ways to challenge you without just fudging dice rolls. Even though I'm pretty sure one of you crazy smart people has figured out how to cheat the dice in Roll20.
It would be very uncouth of me to do so. I cheat within the limits of the game rules by just picking the rogue, man.
Well, yeah, that's fair
Yep.
as well. That is definitely fair. So I tell you,
I have a whole class feature for this.
it's called I'm Broken. It's the level 20 rogue feat.
You don't even have to make it to 20. I mean, reliable talent is what, 14? It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Well, I tell you what, Ghinkgo, what about you? You got any favorite moments? Ghinkgo, the rat.
I don't know. I think blowing up the Titan scrubber was pretty awesome. And stabbing your self-insert was pretty cool.
Man,
Yeah.
god damn.
That was an interesting time. I like to think it was unexpected, although
I didn't see myself doing any of that until it happened, so unexpected.
Jimmy, I'd like to try and lead this thing out of the room if we can. Rat, legalize nuclear bombs.
that was such a good time. What about you, Jacob? Any favorites?
Oh, man, we've had some good stuff over the years. In this last leg, I liked us diving into the maelstrom, just like, oh, black hole, we're going straight in there. That's easy. Done. Simple. That was a great moment.
Yeah. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, what's-
Obviously, I was really excited with Jimmy coming back to life.
yeah.
I've been working on that one for a very long time. I'm glad we finally got that together.
Oh yeah. And for those of you at home who may not be aware, Jimmy, the character, was not entirely alive throughout his entire career.
Yeah. Yep. Now, you know what? Actual favorite.
Well,
Draken drowning in like thin air, still like standing off with the angler. I loved that.
Draken.
Our little showdown with the angler to start off this leg and start off on better footing. That was great.
Draken. So belligerent.
Eternally.
Actively drowning, still holding firm on negotiations.
And look where it got him.
Partner role. It's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah. It paid off. Or it will. I hope.
I hope so. You're still muted there, Draken, in case you're talking.
Oh, he's just grinning.
I wasn't, but that honestly is my favorite moment. Would probably be Draken and the angler dealing. I do like most of the interactions between Draken and the angler, despite the fact that Draken loses all of them. They're just fun.
It could be, matter of perspective. I mean, let's be honest. Losing, well, not entirely. He's still alive.
Yeah. If you bargained with the angler and you're still around, you didn't lose that bad.
It's
Yeah,
true.
any fight that you walk away from is not a loss entirely.
It's like flying. What about you, Master Mist? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What about you,
Go ahead.
Master Mist? And any favorites for you?
I would say my favorites are when we're all working together as a team to fight something. Combat has been really fun in all its forms and all the characters that I've been playing. When I was playing 2 characters, even when I was playing the Mystic, no, that was my favorite in terms of power. Of course.
Of course.
I loved it when Nil was in combat. I finally felt like Rogue wasn't all that much to worry about.
Yeah, I felt like I could literally do anything to you. It was great.
Mystic kind of can.
Yeah, and I feel like that now too, which is great, but it's more controlled. It's more balanced in terms of how it relates to the DM's setting control and how it relates to the narrative.
Yeah.
It responds to the narrative instead of taking over, which is nice.
Yeah. Istoo's been a fascinating character.
Yeah, and I've on the back end of it, I've learned a lot more as a person. I'm a lot more independent as a person. I interact with the players that are at the table better, I think, than I did previously, potentially because I didn't feel like I could, So that's my favorite bit of it, realizing that I can form alliances and it's working,
See, now that's one of the things I love about gaming is how much people actually can grow personally, really, as a person. You hear a lot of really cool success stories like that, and I love it. That's one of the things I love about it.
Go back and listen to those, and then listen to my audio quality now.
We're crisp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you used to be the timid rabbit. And now you're like grabbing the mic like Henry Rollins at a punk show. Like, let me tell you what we're gonna do. It's amazing. I love it. What about you, Prim? Any favorites?
Any favorite moments have been like basically moments in the campaign where I've, effectively gotten to do like, ghost things, like, just sort of spooky shenanigans that led to some real like, funny moments, slash like, parts where I've had people on edge, like, seances, in-character seances have been like a ball. Like those have been fun for me to do. I loved like in the past arc when it was Istu and Bryn who got to like, pull their pants up and like, go in save everyone. Like that was very like it was high stakes, it was like, high adrenaline, and being able to pull that off successfully felt really, really incredible. And also I loved how like Bryn's sort of story arc is finally like starting to come like full circle for me, because her story was basically like she hasn't known how to open up to people and really like how to let love in. So her arc for me was always just like, finding people who she can feel 100% herself around, and really begin to accept that, hey, I am a person who is worthy of being loved. And now that part of her arc is starting to come full circle, so it's just like I love seeing it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. A very personal story too, which is cool. What about you, Drake? I know you kind of mentioned dealing with the angler, but I don't want you to feel left out. I'm gonna give you the spotlight. Tell me, Draken. Tell me what amazed you.
As I said, the thing that I think I really liked is I'm honestly very excited for that moment with the angler and Draken, because I like where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna lead into, honestly, and I could be wrong, but I see this impacting the mythology of Cairn. You've got a crazy gold dragon running around now with a superpowered patron.
It's like the ultimate buddy cop drama. I'm looking forward to it.
I am.
It's going to impact
and
it.
Going into like the earlier arc, anytime Draken has pulled out the weird wand, it seems to have led to fun.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that wand that he has had pretty much almost the 4-year campaign. When things look their darkest, look to the wand.
The Horde has come a really long way. This guy is swimming in magic items.
It's true.
The wand of invisibility in air quotes.
But I do love it, those moments where like things come back, and that's, I have to say, kind of one of my favorites as far as the entire campaign. Like this last arc, especially as you guys approached the Haruspecs and began to kind of investigate like the escape craft and move into the actual body of the ship, watching your lights kind of turn on one by one as you realized who was on the Haruspecs and where the Haruspecs came from, and seeing the ties starting to come together. That was such a gratifying feeling for me, seeing all those connections start to get made and everyone kind of having the light bulbs turn on and be like, oh my god. Because so much of this has been so long in the planning. it's hard for me to keep secrets, especially from Prem, because Prem will work things out on her own. Prem is like Sherlock Holmes on steroids.
Yeah, Anna was the one who kind of came up with the idea of the two campaigns eventually meeting. It was literally like a joke from me about like, you know, how like, oh, like, you know, the Sigil campaign goes on like, you know, a spell jamming adventure to like crack open Cairn's crystal spear and like, you know, the two parties get to meet and it's like, oh my god, like, you know, the big crossover episode. I think I actually mentioned like digging deeper in there is like a joke too, but like it's how it all started.
we had a little digging deeper crossover in there too for a minute.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, lady.
Some old friends.
You'll see Malachi's face pop up there in the this slideshow every now and then. I included him because I know how much you guys loved him. But I mean that's it has been a large, huge epic is what it's starting to feel like for me. Seeing you guys play through it more than just my storytelling or anything like that, like actually watching you guys grow and develop as characters and of course as players, and how much you guys have actually contributed to the story just by the way you go off the rails regularly.
What rails?
Exactly. This train ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the character of Malachi. Like, I had to actively remind myself he quietly fed a child into the dark abyss. Don't forget.
That did happen.
Remember him gently guiding a child into this dark pond, right? Yeah, maybe I should be happier about it being gone, right? Not sad? Come on.
Who knows? Maybe he'll come back. Worse than ever, but he's actually the BBEG of this entire arc.
That would be...
That'd be rude.
Brave. His casting of disguised self covered both the Angler and, like, Scratch. He's both at the same time. We just never figured it out. We never saw both of them in the same place until now. And now he's suddenly learned spells to duplicate himself and do different disguises.
We never even disguise checked him. We've been played for fools.
Prim, let me borrow your red yarn for a second. I got a conspiracy theory to map out.
Get out the cork boards.
We watched the angler emerge out of somebody's nose, and we didn't say to ourselves, but what if that's Malachi?
It's all connected! It's all connected!
Well, I do want to take a real quick minute I want to give some shout outs to some folks that are both real and fictional that are no longer with us. Because I think they deserve that. Both players and NPCs, of course. First off, Chris, if you're out there, we love you. We miss you. Someday we hope you come back to us, and I hope your life is being amazing. I haven't heard from you in a while. Chris has played so many roles, more than Simon, in these games. Chris had alt-itis worse than I do, which is saying a lot. But managed to actually craft some influential and unforgettable personalities that are still kind of hanging around. Most importantly of which is the Sigilian landlord who rented... Zil, that's right.
Yeah.
Zil and his library girlfriend, which was literally a library. As well as so many others. Crod.
Rister. Everyone's favorite comic relief character in Cairn Van Warren.
Mm-hmm. The Spell Bandit.
Yeah.
Was he comic relief?
Yes. Sometimes.
Or was he Genesis' only friend?
Well, I mean, Genesis is comic relief sometimes, let's be honest.
We're all comic relief sometimes.
Yes, you are. But mainly for me. Yeah, Muse. That was. He actually did have a relationship with a living library that spoke to him through a book that he carried with him everywhere. That was in the basement. She was insanely jealous, sniped at him constantly, and got really angry when he went missing.
It made for some hilarious sitcom moments during some of the Sigil sessions.
Of course, I also want to give a shout out to. Well, we've had so many come and go. One in particular. Let's see if you guys can guess.
Watts.
Oh, you knew exactly where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can see your face. Yep.
She was such an amazing addition to our groups, both of them. I know she's still out there. We still talk every now and then, but if you're watching, you're always welcome to come back. We loved having you. Watts was no end of trouble for this group. Damsel in distress that she was. Always needing to be rescued.
Loved her to death. She was the ghost small human, and no one messed with her small human.
Yeah.
Isn't Watts still with us in a way, though?
She's still alive.
Yep. Back in Sigil. Hopefully safe from harm for the moment, but what do we know?
Yeah, it's true. There's a certain Modron that was my favorite NPC, I think, to play.
Yes!
Ah, the lad.
If in either of my characters had died, I was immediately gonna ask, can he be like a warlock patron? Please.
I thought you were going to ask if you could play a rogue Modron. I was going to be all for it.
No, I just want him to be the warlock patron because he would be confused with that power and then just sit there looking at me like, what do you mean? Blink, blink.
I just loved creeping your character out with it as he just pop up in a window and stare at you.
Hello. I'm here. I'm right behind your elbow. I've been here for an hour. You didn't see me?
But would Elim make an appropriate warlock patron when he doesn't even know like what he's creating whenever he creates a spell?
It would be it would be the chaos magic version of a warlock.
Yeah.
He's literally wild magic embodied. Please let me pray to this box.
Who's your patron? The idiot box. Don't ask.
Oh god, don't summon him. He's creepy.
He'll stare at you. Trust me, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Oh god. Of course, we've got the Fencer Troll brothers. The Beatnik
Orvin
Fencer
and Phineas.
Trolls. Yep. I actually wrote a piece of music about one of them going for a pizza in Sigil. I couldn't resist. And our favorite power couple. You guys remember the power couple, right?
Yes.
God, the Warrains.
That might be the pinnacle of my creativity is those two.
Ted and Lauren.
They could have their own campaign just based around them. They were very fun. The demon hunters in Sigil who, for some reason, didn't realize Sigil's full of demons. So what about you guys? Any favorites you want to throw out? Anyone I missed that you think needs a shout out?
Oh my god, the name just escaped me completely.
The Whispering Gale. Good call, Muse. Whispering Gale always needs a shout out.
Oh my god, the ship, yes. Evelyn.
Oh yeah, from Cairn, yeah.
I pulled it from the brink of the abyss and said it immediately. Let's go.
Got it.
Evelyn, yeah, she died and still saved the party.
Rare honor, that.
Rare honor. I know it jumping ship a little bit, but that ride that you guys took through the tubes as the volcano was erupting in that little capsule.
Oh God, that
was one of the most exciting moments in gaming for me to DM ever.
It was both exciting and absolutely nerve-wracking.
You guys made it. And that could have been like a death moment easily. TPK. You guys wiped out in the volcano eruption. But as you usually do, you beat the odds. Dang it. Been trying to kill you for 4 years.
It was contingent on us making the right choices, though.
It's true. It's true. You guys are really good about that. What about anybody else? Any others?
I think we all need to remember back in the early days of back when it was Stapleton, though she has made an appearance in Karen as well, Maury.
Yes, Maury.
Maury was very dear to all of our hearts. In fact, there's where the Wickletongue distillery name comes from, Maury Wickletongue, which still exists. It's been through some things, but still there. Maury still exists in Cairn as an Onru Marv. And she's... I actually spoke with Almond not too long ago. She's still out there. One of these days, I'm gonna get her to come back to the fold. Fingers crossed.
Please, oh my God.
Yeah, we all miss our absent players very, very much.
Can't push on these things, though.
No, real life first. That's our rule, as always. But can still miss them. Oh goodness, that is a very good one though. That is a very good one. I've got one for you. You guys may have forgotten, but I think he deserves a really special shout out because I actually miss this character a lot, and that's Kong.
Yes.
Boy.
Kong.
Still out there.
Yes.
Still ruling the rooftops.
Kong, the shifter monkey.
It's monk and then in parentheses the EY.
Nice.
Yeah. Daryl did such an amazing job playing Kong. He's perfect to play Kong.
Yeah, you had some beautiful Kong moments.
Yes.
I really liked when he went to just what was that guy's name? The big
Harris Hatches.
Harris Hatches. He went to Harris Hatches's advertising agency to stir up trouble. Got kicked out and then immediately went back.
You can't keep him out. He's Kong.
It was really good.
And his
Also, shout out to What's a Cartoon?
It's a cartoon.
Well, let's not forget Chucky too.
Is that where you learn what senpai is?
Exactly. Ah, the grand old one.
Oh no. You want to laugh, but you want to wince, and you're like, should we be having these conversations around this individual?
He was only 16.
Haha.
Maury got him wasted, remember?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Laudanum.
It's just bard stuff.
It's just bard stuff.
Just normal bard stuff.
Oh yeah. I do have another favorite NPC who is still alive.
I think Tavarius. maybe?
Tavarius, yes.
Yeah, I was thinking Tavarius. I enjoyed Tavarius.
I had so much fun playing Tavarius.
He made such a terrible mistake locking us all in his house.
He was so funny though. Just that little imp who's like, I'm rich now.
Yeah.
And Kian, I did enjoy playing Kian.
Kian was a good foil. I'm glad we managed to come all the way around on Kian.
Yeah, and he's technically still around.
He's out there. He best not step to us again, though. We've only gotten more dangerous.
I'm not sure a Rakshasa would be so dangerous for you now unless he brought friends.
He'd have to bring a lot of.
He'd still be terribly dangerous for me. Immune to spells below 6th level. Great. I don't even have 5th level spells yet.
Ah. Sorry.
You got friends.
Rakshasa's like the immortal bane of the artificer.
Simon's cracked the code. It's monk and then key.
Key.
Is it K-I?
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
there you go.
monk
He's
because
got
of
it.
the key, yeah.
Trademark that immediately before Wizards gets
Oh
it.
my god. Quick!
Way of the monk key. Oh god. So, any villains that you're particular to?
I think our current dyad of villains is kind of an interesting setup. I think Angler and Scratch is. This is a really strange thing you've done here. I wound up liking it though, because the Angler would be a much more formidable adversary, and basically everybody knows it. But he just likes us. He abuses us to no end.
I think we forgot somebody.
Who's that?
I want to say 10? Tender?
Timber?
Timber.
Timber.
Timber?
Yes.
Ah, the Fallen. That's right.
Can you hear how my brain was grabbing at the name like a child? Just
Well, to be fair, he did get disintegrated. That does
that
things to a
was so
person.
brutal.
That was
And I feel like
one of the only what happened deaths that we've had.
it was instant, and it had to be. It had to be instant, because if it was anything else, I would have brought him immediately back to life. I had that power just sitting in the wings, ready to go. Never got to use it. Just waiting for somebody to die. Yeah, just let me see them die. I
always feel and genuinely terrible when I whack a character. Speaking of Timber, there went his picture. I always genuinely feel terrible about whacking a character, but unfortunately, death is part of the game, and without the specter of doom hanging over you, the challenge and the fear and the threat kind of it gets a little less. You all start to feel like you're rogues or something.
We can only have one of those.
We
simply
used
don't
to
have time for the
two.
roles.
Do you
and
remember
then-
how strong Master was?
Yeah.
I mean,
Remember how good Master was at everything?
Well, I mean, the name.
doubtful. Like, I
Do
can
you
play the
remember
same.
the sort of
I'm-
stealth check you could make
No,
with
I'm playing the
Master?
same class as you. I understand. I know what dice I rolled, but at the same time, I never really felt like I was overpowered.
No,
playing,
you were
playing
just
a rogue right next to it.
you were just
right next to
invisible.
Mental.
That was the thing. You were just invisible. The Master was like, "Oh wait, where? Who?"
Yeah, those
I'm being
stealth checks
perceived.
were something else. You had double advantage rolling 32s on stealth. You were only level 8.
Yeah, but I was playing a rogue next to
The Mystic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's in a different category.
I'm playing a powerful class and a god.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
like a small deity, right?
Yes. Just tiny.
Just chilling with this evil donkey. It's great.
Yeah, like a
Any-
small god.
Any 2 of Nil's class abilities would have broken the game in half. Any 2 of them would have been enough. And you had 15.
Yeah.
If I wanted to,
and
I could have
growing.
annihilated you guys.
And growing. Mystics are so OP, it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Gaining a new ability every level. Ooh, it's nice.
you do bring up a very interesting individual who has been left out. Almond milk.
It's like you mentioned my child. Oh my god.
The donkey that survived the apocalypse of Cairn.
Why am I such a fan of this animal? It's just been sitting there, flopping its ears, blinking its eyes, and doing absolutely nothing. And I'm just like, oh, look at the baby.
Well, I mean, it did do a few things.
It spent a lot of time
Terrorizes, yeah.
spooking us.
True.
Not its fault, really.
No, it did get a
Into
little weird,
Rosemary's
though. Rosemary's Baby.
I swear to God. It was so wholesome, and then it's just like, come here.
Yeah, he did. Things got a little dark there for a bit. A little bit. I got to pull out some very interesting critters with you guys. You know, from the ooze that has the ability to take on the form of other people.
Oh God, yeah.
Was it Obelix? Is that what it's called? I can't remember.
Ooh.
Ublex.
Obelix, I think. There's the creature that was crafted by a Make-A-Wish child, and was so incredibly terrifying that I was honored to use it against you. Hope you guys felt very guilty for defeating a Make-A-Wish child's monster.
Not even a little bit.
Oh, really?
That's what it's there for. You got to close this loop. There's a system it's supposed
it's
to
a-
exist in.
Yeah, it's a monster. It's meant to be stomped.
I bet that kid is very sad somewhere that you killed his monster.
The creativity that went into the creative being is still alive and kicking and is in the world. And now the creature is a part of our history forever.
Forever.
One would
Technically,
not
by
wish-
killing it, we actually wrote it into our history books
See?
and have to talk about it for the rest of our lives.
See? There you go. One would not wish to make a monster that would never be defeated.
Immortality is pointless. Being immortalized is everything.
Very fair point. Very fair point. But I mean, I got the Illithid Lich I got to throw at you,
That was great.
Yes.
who actually ended up being a little bit of a red herring in a weird way.
Yeah, he was just like, he was a delegate in this matter. He was like
You
second tier.
you thought he was going to be like the BBEG, and he just kind of led you into the BBEGs,
Yeah.
plural.
And then you killed me 4 times in one fight.
Nice.
Hey, that is to my credit. You are a hard character to kill.
I remember the look on your face here in this last arc when you put me into a mirror match, and then you realized, oh God, how many hit points do I have to take off of this man to finish this scene?
Yeah, this is going to be the rest of the campaign. This fight right here.
First, you have to land a hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you have to actually do the damage. Then you have to have that damage either halved or quartered.
Well,
Yeah.
luckily,
Then you have to try again.
luckily he mirrored your gear, which meant he had Keon's lantern as well.
Yes, we found our way out of that one post haste. I did not want to grind down the mirror match.
I don't think any of us wanted to sit there through the.
Oh no.
Does this hit?
No.
Does that hit? No. Does this hit? No. Because it's just the two of you in there, like,
No.
okay.
I enjoyed how that fight went, though.
That was fun. I actually enjoyed your traversing through the veil. That was interesting. I have created entire realms for you guys, like on
It's
the
kind
fly.
of fun.
All because Jimmy is like, I'm a plane shift where I'm not supposed to plane shift to escape an explosion of nuclear proportions. It's like, all right, let's do this. Let me create something entirely new. Here's an entire realm just for you to hopefully die in.
Everything here is terrible. Good luck.
Yeah, I had fun with that. I had fun. There were parts of it you didn't even get to see.
Yes.
So maybe we'll adventure there again. Maybe.
I recommend strongly against it.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
I am alive now. That's, checking the plus column right there.
Mhm.
I have some lingering effects I would rather not visit again.
Oh, yeah. And let's be honest, I think he left a friend back there who will undoubtedly remember the experience.
I'm still not convinced it's our Jimmy that came out of the mirror dimension and not one of the reflections.
You have been bribed very thoroughly to not care about that.
I have been.
And Bryn
Doesn't
will
mean
fight
I don't. Doesn't mean I'm not still thinking it.
You know,
I'm allowed to think it. I'm been paid to not care. Doesn't
There
mean
you
I can't.
go.
to Ghinkgo's credit, I will say this. It would not be the first time that I've seeded a player as a doppelganger in a group.
Of course not. Yeah, we've seen that, and we also saw it with Saren. So it's not unreasonable given the circumstances.
Saren. I actually have a sweet spot in my heart for Saren as an NPC. I really only thought her as an afterthought, that maybe she'd be with you for a short time and then gone. But I kind of like her for some weird reason. She's been through the ringer, that poor kid.
Yeah.
I know the encounter with her mother's recording was a high point for me creatively.
God made us all cry. Holy shit.
I thought that was neat, though. It was
cried.
fun. It's okay, Master Miss. I cried for you.
Thanks.
Got your back.
Nice.
But yeah, that was fun. And now everything is, I mean, from Scuttler's Rock to the Harrispecs and now beyond, we are aiming at Cairn directly. En route. Actually, with the Harrispecs. You guys carjacked in a ginormous spacecraft.
I'm keeping that, by the way.
This is mine now. Just don't land it on Cairn, please. They don't need another apocalypse.
No, it's fine. I'll stay in orbit. It's fine. The laws of salvage state that this is mine now.
God, what have I done? I've given an artificer a spacecraft.
Space salvage rights. Probably not working out in your favor here.
It could be worse. It could be worse. Definitely. So, with Cinder coming back, you're going to have, once again, your infernal Powlock or Warridon, or I forget what the Hexadon. The classic class combination.
Running this character you built is a real pain in the ass, man. You gave him too many abilities.
Yeah.
Remembering all the stuff Cinder can do is really hard.
Yeah, lock it in. So good.
Thanks.
Although
Okay.
Master Miss has been, she's been pushing really hard to figure it all out. And Jacob in a pinch has been too. We try to keep him as active as possible, as for an NPC, and it'll be excellent to have you back in the helm of his brain. Because I feel like we never really got a full chance to really get to know Cinder. So I'm looking forward to getting to actually get to know him. Although
You also have that fun flute to play, if you want.
Okay.
That wasn't a euphemism. Wait a second. There's actually a flute. Hang on.
There is a flute.
Oh,
The
this
flute is not a lie.
I just caught that. I just caught there's literally one made of crystal that I
Celestial
handed to
resonator.
you. Wait a God.
It's
I've
a
been doing this
celestial
all
resonator.
day.
that's hilarious.
You've got the Shawnekeesian flute.
I've been doing this all day.
That's awesome. No, I like that. The look on Simon's face was priceless.
No.
So yes, Cinder does have a skin flute.
Oh my god.
That's not what I said. I said crystal.
Oh,
Crystal flute. Sorry.
It writes itself.
It's not a crack pipe.
That didn't even occur to me.
But yeah. So yeah, Cinder is going to be you'll be stepping back into Cinder at a very interesting time aboard the Haruspex, in movement. Well, I believe when we come back, we will be we're going to do a small time jump and basically be on approach to Cairn when we come back. So things are going to start really picking up in an interesting way, I hope, as things begin to kind of converge and merge. And like I said, I'm excited and nervous and maybe even a little sad that we are coming to our final chapters after so long. I am looking forward to telling new stories and exploring new qualities and aspects, but at the same time, like, there's so much history and attachment here.
Yeah, I know I'll be very sad to, not be playing Bryn anymore. Just because she's my girl.
Yeah.
I look forward to the future. I haven't rolled a new character for a Saturday game in 3.5 years.
This is true. Yeah, you and Draken, I think, more than anyone. Because I think you're the two OGs that are left.
And he took a break to play Timber.
Yeah. This is true.
Timber didn't last very long.
Poor Timber.
Yeah, he had a good arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he had a good arc in that he allowed me to bring Malachi in. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I am looking forward to telling some new stories, to exploring some new avenues as far as the cultures and classes and integrating the new rule sets that we've all been talking about and working on and whatnot is going to be really exciting. And I'm really looking forward to the freedom that'll come with that for you guys as far as character creation. And maybe even getting a few fresh faces in here and there, I think will be fun, and seeing how they interpret things as we go. Hopefully we won't go on another 4-year tear because, wow.
Let's aim for a shorter one.
Yeah.
Let's tone it down slightly.
Maybe not 4 years, but I mean, still a nice, long one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to be retirement age when we wrap up the next campaign. Yeah.
True.
So you're saying we got to get it in under 6 months?
Yes, under 6 months.
Oh my god.
Before my Social Security kicks in.
Fair enough.
Oh god. So, what do you guys think about the direction everything's headed?
I'm
Ooh.
super excited.
Yeah?
It'll be interesting.
Yeah?
I remember last session we were like, the team's never been more divided. Which is interesting to hear that some members of our party don't agree with that.
Well?
Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah.
Wow.
You did the wow.
I had to. If anything deserves it, it's that. I mean...
Well, no, I mean, it's all a matter of perspective, I guess, and that's all good. That just means that it should make things even more interesting coming through as we go through the next chapters. Next chapter. What do you guys...
I do have a plan, though. I have an interesting plan.
Uh-oh.
This is a Master Miss related plan.
Uh-oh.
Are you prepared for Master Miss related plans, Master Miss? Gotta think about that one.
I want to say yes to that, but we'll see.
Okay. I'm gonna go on a bit of a wild tear with the last arc. I brought this man back to life for a reason. He needed a little more fire in his blood for the finish. Living Jimmy is gonna be a lot more rude. We're gonna crack this whole Istu thing wide open.
Uh-oh.
No one has ever received any explanation whatsoever for Istu.
Fair.
Istu needs no explanation.
Yeah, I exist without your permission. Why would I?
No,
give
Istu
a
needs
shit?
no introduction, especially with the power suit on.
Yes, a very nice power suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Thanks to Ratt
Yes.
for that, because he made it and everything.
yeah, that suit was killer. But Jimmy's a very curious type. And we're, going into almost certain doom.
So, what do you need me for in this?
I just wanted to give you a chance to be ready. Jimmy's gonna be poking and prying.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna be asking the difficult question.
A chance to be ready in what respect? In the narrative sense?
In the narrative sense, yes.
Okay.
Do I
If
need
you
to...
had any narrative desires along these lines, I wanted you to have a little bit of heads up to think about it. You like to play your secretive characters, but, every once in a while it's fun to try and get something out of a secretive character.
That should be interesting.
I don't exactly object to that, but I do refer you to the previous roundtables we've had, in which several times people have stated that they would have liked to get to know my character's story more, but it just never came about. This isn't because I play myself as a cagey sort of a person. Up until this point, of course, current characters accepted. It's been because it just hasn't happened for me.
Well, that'll
So-
be a good chance.
We making it happen.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not going to be like, okay, we're going to interrogate you now. Like,
Jimmy might do
this
some
entire
light
time.
and there may be threats of music.
Threats of music.
Yes.
it,
He will annoy Istu into revealing information. How does Istu feel about the hurdy-gurdy, the instrument?
Especially played by someone that doesn't know how to play one.
Yes.
that'll be interesting because I'm wondering who you'll be talking to.
Oh, there's two Istirs, yeah. That could be interesting.
I feel like either one would have access to the information, and I feel like my perception rolls are powerful. I can likely perceive, which I honestly I don't know about that. I'd have to go read how the hell that spell works.
Isn't one
Yeah,
of
but
the
that's the thing. I don't know,
isn't
I
one
don't
of
know
the
what the
current
point of
issues
that.
created with Simulacrum?
I don't know what the point of that is, though. That's the thing. All of a sudden, narratively, we're just hitting an interrogation with me for what?
In this case, my internal logic of it is Jimmy living he's a little not crazy exactly, but he's going to be a lot more boisterous than mostly dead Jimmy was. And he is going to want to know why Istu is really here. What does Istu want? Because the situation we're going into is one in which we all have to be able to look out for each other's interests. It does require you to know each other's interests. Specifically, he doesn't want anybody trapped on Cairn for whom this is a fate worse than death, and he thinks it's a real threat.
So there's some benevolence behind it.
Yeah, he wants to be able to look out for Istu, and he's going to approach it in a way that is perhaps a little wilder than Jimmy usually is, because
Jimmy's
he's a little
crazy.
wilder than he usually is.
He's a little crazy.
I can appreciate that, but I don't know how the Yanti is gonna respond to that.
Well, don't spoil it. No spoilers. We definitely want to see how that plays out because it could be interesting.
I mean, I'm not
You respond to it however you feel you would.
Yeah. Mutiny
Yeah,
on the horror specs.
This is just me as a player wondering how to play the. There have been many a time that.
Well, what do you guys think is going to happen? I'm curious. I always like hearing your suppositions and premonitions of the future. What do you think this first couple rounds is going to be like as we approach Cairn aboard the Harrispecs?
I defer to Hannah and the wall of red string. She's got this whole thing mapped out.
What's the conspiracy's conspiracy? Tell us, cook it up, let her cook.
I mean, I only had a conspiracy with respect to the angler and why he was doing what he was doing. I don't really have any guesses as to what might happen as soon as we like touch down onto Cairn. I feel like it is going to be a hot minute before we can actually get into Cairn proper. Might be a little bit of a battle to get there, because I do feel like the open door that still yet remains down in the Dome of the Shining Eyes is going to be like the portal into Cairn. So yeah, I think we're probably going to be waiting on the Cairn party to open up that door before we actually make it into Cairn proper. And then there's going to be a fair bit more story after that, because obviously shit can't be that simple. But I mean, it also kind of depends on like how the cosmology works out in your mind, because like it could be that the world of Cairn is sealed off, but like all of the space outside of it, including like the area with the mother's head and such, you know, could not be sealed off, so we could be able to get to the mother's head without any input on the Cairn party's part. So I don't know, I don't really have anything concrete.
Interesting. That is a rarity too.
We definitely have this massive resource of souls currently powering the engine of the Haruspecs. Scratch definitely seems to have been interested in these. The Angler's interested in them, maybe secondarily wants to get into Cairn and set himself up with as a power using these souls as a source of fuel.
Yeah, see, I don't think it's secondary at all, because
Yeah.
that actually ties directly into my theory, like, that I had of the Angler. Because we know the Angler can shapeshift, and the Angler is also someone who has absolutely, like, put us into, like, situations, like, set us up to where we had no choice but to accept his deal, like he did in the very beginning, where everyone was in the Shadowfell echo of Cairn, and basically the Angler was our only way out, but in order to get out, we had to make a bargain with him, but if we didn't, then we would get killed by the spirits of the Beclerite soldiers. I believe this has happened here, where the Angler is the one who set off the reactor, shapeshifted himself to Scratch's voice to make us think that Scratch did it, and basically put us in an unwinnable situation as we try and disable the reactor, to get us to enter into another bargain with him, because there was no way we were going to complete the wager we made with him without it, because there was just no way that we were going to fix the reactor. He would have to come in and intervene, or, you know, we'd all die. So once again, forced to enter into another bargain. So I think the Angler having Draken under his purview as one of the powerful, like, elemental dragons of Cairn is a big win for him. But I also think the Haruspecs getting onto Cairn specifically is another big win for the Angler, because, like, yeah, if the Angler is, like, the power at the heart of the Drowned, then the Drowned operates by, like, you know, that level of puppetry over a lot of souls and, like, bodies under his purview. So I think having that many souls that is in the reactor in the Haruspecs is really going to get him, like, you know, a very powerful leg up as he establishes himself, like, on Cairn. Like, he's going to have a lot of the power to play ball.
That is interesting. Like I said, I love these theories. I love hearing them.
Yeah, you can't see his other arm underneath the camera. He's going, interesting, writing that theory down, adding in.
Yes, of course.
How do you spell that?
No, it's fine. We're getting Draken in as the lieutenant. He'll have the whole operation to himself in like 200 years tops.
There is some time shenanigans still, though, because the angler's power, if he is the power that you think he is
already
there and active,
yeah.
as you've seen. And the Whispering Gale exists basically in two places at once. Because the Whispering Gale supposedly is on Cairn already.
Yes, wrecked.
On Cairn.
Yes.
So
This is indeterminate, because the Gale was already engaged in time shenanigans, like naturally.
Yeah.
And there could be broader ones related to, Cairn versus outside of Cairn. Probably there are. I did have a theory way back in the day that the angler had been split in half by the segmenting of Cairn. Possibly even earlier, since it was a chunk broken off of the Shadowfell that was impacting Cairn to cause the blight in the first place. May have been a fracturing event in more than one way.
Interesting. So this is a conjunction.
Remains to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I love that we can have these discussions, honestly. It lets me know that I haven't been completely predictable, at least.
No, you've thrown us some curveballs for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I've created enough new monsters to generate my own monster manual.
Some of them have been pretty vicious.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoy monster generation, especially with you high-level people in mind, because I can pull out all the stops and be like, okay, well, this one's got a nuclear warhead for a fist, and
that did happen. That did happen. What were the name? What did you call the elevated Blightborn guys? Not the teleporting ones, the ones who had fused into their suits.
Oh, they were just called the Fused.
They were the Fused, that's right. Those guys were vicious, and then we opened an elevator door and there were 5 of them.
Yeah.
The Fused Echoes, I believe.
Fused
Echoes,
that's right.
Yeah,
that guy was pretty good. He was tough.
I loved the encounter with the first one.
Yes.
When it was Istu, wasn't it? Istu got in the water.
Yep.
Which is the classic D&D mistake.
Gone in the water. And then Draken and I jumped in the water, and then Istu got out of the water, and then we were still in the water.
Hey, it was the ghost who got Istu out of the water, thank you.
This is true.
But it was so much fun, because you love those moments as a DM when you're like, there's a large body of water, it's dark and you can't see through it, but you need to get across it. You're just waiting on someone to say, I get in the water. And you're like, wah! Yeah. And somebody got in the water.
Yeah. Bryn has too big of a dress and too much fabric to maneuver through that water with any sort of ease. So no, she was never going to get in the water.
There will be, decidedly less water moments in Cairn unless everyone's just like, well, the water looks funny. Let me taste it and see if it's okay. Which I would definitely laugh about. I think the water has claimed more lives of party members than anyone.
No.
No? I know you've lost some people to water. Sugnak.
Oh yeah, Sugnak and Shillelagh. Evelyn died to hot steam.
Technically, more have died to Ratt. It just wasn't permanent.
This is true.
I forget about Sugnak and Shillelagh. I didn't count them because their players had already left the campaign, so we were just sort of taking their player characters out.
Yeah, well, you almost lost Debbie's character.
Yeah, but I mean we were able to act fast with her and get her healed up with no loss of limbs or infection or anything. So
yeah, just
I don't
PTSD.
Count that. Yeah,
That was an
a
interesting
real
question,
loss.
though.
What's that?
Is that how it's intended?
What, the water being dangerous?
No, when we have to write someone's character out because they won't be playing the character anymore, is that intended to be kind of a wrap up of their storyline, or is it meant to be something that happens in the narrative without regard to the out of character reasoning for it?
It depends. Like, as a DM, it's an individual basis. Like, Sugnak, for instance, Daryl, the player, wanted to push out. He had to step away from the game, and we were just like, okay, well, let's reinforce how dangerous the environment is and use him as the example. And so he went out.
Yeah, well,
environmentally.
There's a difference between it needing to happen in the environment and it happening to that character. Like, should we be more effective than we are if we're just assuming that it happened because it had to?
Oh, well, I mean, from a roleplay perspective, yeah,
right.
That would have had I mean, probably not Sugnak because he wasn't well liked. He was a Wraith Guard.
Yeah.
But Shillelagh definitely would have had an impact. Like, she was one of you. So, I mean, it's been a long time, for instance, since Shillelagh passed. So, aside from seeing her spirit in the spirit realm and finding out that Uki's character, Uki was actually tied to her, which that was lovely. Snacks was a little piece of brilliance coming up with that. Because I mean, I don't like for any death to be inconsequential or meaningless. Like, even Sugnak played a part. He had a role in the story. And his death was horrible. It was screaming agony. And, he tried to go out, I think, in the middle of a fight, too. But, he was... For all the hate that he got, Sugnak was a law-abiding Wraithguard member who felt like he was safeguarding the people that he felt responsible for in doing the things that he was doing. So in his mind, he was justified, he was right. And he didn't do anything necessarily evil towards any of you guys either. But I could understand if you guys were like, no, he smelled funny, I didn't like him,
Well, I mean, Saoirse was very, sort of timid around him because, I mean, he was a Wraith Guard and Saoirse was literally a magic user, so...
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's normal. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, as always, roleplay your character how you see fit. You know your character better than I ever will. So, yeah, definitely don't let me dictate that for you. If your character is like, I don't care about that dude, that's your character. But, I will do my best to make every death meaningful in some way and memorable, at least. Especially if it's a player character that's still active. No death should just be some inconsequential afterthought. Especially in a long-term campaign, you know what I mean? You got a lot of time and thought and passion and creativity invested in that concept, and suddenly it's gone. It should be meaningful. But we're getting into heavy topics here, guys. But yeah, no. Never done as an afterthought, if that answers your question. hopefully we won't see anymore. I can't make any promises. Sometimes the dice are cruel.
Yes. Question for you, Church.
Uh-oh.
Are there any warnings you want to give us coming into the home stretch? Anything we should look out for? Anything we should be prepared for?
Well, I will say that the Sigil crew has grown very confident in their abilities, as they should. They have overcome amazing obstacles, from a world ending through the dangers of Sigil, through the demonic hordes to eldritch beings and space and beyond, right? Like, you guys have overcome a lot. Sigil's going to be a game changer for a lot of them. Depending on where they go, where they end up in Sigil still. Like, there's still a lot of wild cards out there, obviously. I kind of know where things are going to begin, but where it goes from there will obviously be more or less dictated by you guys. Warnings. Watch out for each other. The Cairn crew and the Sigil crew may not like each other. May not trust each other. They've been through a lot as well. And from a much different perspective. Jimmy and Draken, for instance, will remember Cairn as it was. This is their homecoming. It's destroyed, so it's a tragedy. Whereas everyone that's there now, this is life, period. With the exception of Az, because Az remembers the old world a little bit too, but
oh no, we're gonna have old heads corner where we just go, man, you remember the sky used to be blue? Damn.
But yeah, so you guys may not get
You
along.
go to our moon and there'd be like this meat pie shop on the corner. Damn.
Try the priest. Yeah. But yeah, I would say watch out for each other. Because some of you are going to look very odd in Cairn.
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
odd.
Just a little.
Oh, yes.
These mofocus haven't seen a changeling in over 200 years.
Yeah. And
They
not...
probably have never seen a flaming cinder before either.
No. And the gnomes are supposed to be extinct. Yanti, there aren't any there.
Trust me, I don't plan to start slithering into town.
The last dragon that was here was Draken 200 years ago.
And
Unless they look very closely, and it's not.
Yeah.
No, I think I inherently trust myself because that's clearly just a halfling.
Well, halflings are extinct too.
Well, that's the last one then. That's got to be it.
Well, that's the
They
thing
met
is
the last
they
one.
met the last one.
It's the other last one.
The next but last.
It's the last. It's my other brother Daryl. That's what I mean. It could be interesting, and I'll also keep in mind that Draken still has the highest body count out of the both parties. Which I love to bring up.
Draken-
Disagree, but
Draken's deal is also when we break the sky. Draken's probably going to leave partway through this.
It's very possible. It's there's still a lot of ways that all of that could play out, obviously. Like, I'm not gonna, you know me, I'm not gonna railroad you guys into anything. This is partly why we have certain chapters that have gone far beyond 20 episodes. Because,
hey, if they could last a lot longer, I'd be appreciative of that because
yeah.
whenever I'm done with my secret project, I want to get some use out of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. As a game master, I think one of the most important skills you can have as a game master is the ability to think on your feet and improv and go with the flow that your characters are chasing, rather than trying to enforce what you've written as this is the way you have to go. Because I'm not dictating a story, we're creating a mutual narrative, as we always have. And I like that. It keeps me on my toes, and I like to think I'm decent enough at kind of navigating you guys' weird flighty behavior when you start going off the rails. When, somebody causes a nuclear explosion and I have to generate an entire new dimensional realm. But I don't mind. I really don't. I love being able to create all this and write it all down and tie it all together. I think it's great. I think what we've created here is, considering how it started as a measly one-shot attempt that never ended.
A one-shot attempt that started whenever I was in New York City on my birthday.
Yeah.
Which is going to be true again this year.
But it never ended.
Quick,
never
start
ended.
a new campaign.
Yeah. We'll do a one-shot.
It's a good omen.
It'll be great, yeah.
We'll do a one-shot.
It'll be a quick one.
Quick, easy 5-year campaign.
Yes. Just one, real brief, not to worry.
In and out, 200 session adventure.
And, Prim, I believe I shared it with you, so if you'd like, I'll let you announce the title of the next chapter.
Yes. The name of Arc 6 of Sigil Confidential will be The Silent Goddess.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think we know which one that is.
Yep.
Yeah,
Doesn't say much.
It's Evelette, come back from the dead.
Yes.
If I could talk her into it, I would probably do it. But yeah. So the Silent Goddess is the next and final chapter of Sigil Confidential. The story that started as a noir detective fantasy set in the City of Doors, which still was so much fun and such a neat concept. To watch it evolve and grow the way it did into whatever it is, I don't even know what you'd call it now, honestly. But I love it that it's no longer easy to categorize, I guess.
It's a multiverse spanning epic.
Yeah. Suck it, Marvel. Sorry, I had to take a crack at them for their multiverse shenanigans. But at least you're not meeting copies of yourself. Well,
Well,
I may have done an amount of
Meeting copies of yourself or creating copies
Yeah.
of yourself?
well, creating's a little different because that's still
we
within
have
your
multiple
universe.
approaches to doppelganging here. I think we've covered a pretty wide spectrum of
Yeah.
doppelganging.
Yeah, you really have.
yeah.
From
Including one of the main PCs that's doppelganger adjacent.
yeah, from changelings to doppelgangers to multiversal copies, dimensional copies, simulacrums, simulacrums. That's what I'm going to call it.
Simulacrums.
Nope, it is now a similar crumb.
This crumb is much like another crumb.
Yes, this is now canon. That we're changing the name of the spell to similar crumb. But yeah, you guys, you've got a good wide berth of shape-changing face stealers, basically. If we can incorporate the Dune universe somehow, there's a whole nother one I could throw at you.
Oh god.
As fun as that would be, I think we'd probably get in trouble. And I don't know if anyone's ready for that. Although, I will say, you may or may not have noticed, but there is a little bit of a Frank Herbert influence in some of Karen. Which
Yeah.
I say with a little pride.
No, I totally see it.
I always kind of pictured the Ventrites sort of Fremen-ish in a way.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
Because let's be honest, the Fremen were badass.
So I have some assigned reading. Good to know.
Oh, if you haven't read Dune, you need to.
I find myself in desperate need for you to read Dune and for you to tell me your opinion about Dune.
Yeah.
It's, it's a well-regarded novel for a reason, but man, it's a weird one if you've not been exposed to it before. I need to know what you think about Dune so bad.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna be perspective shifting like Watership Down, is it?
Maybe, but very differently. It's probably not as moving as Watership Down.
It's unique.
It is unique. It is the product of a very strange mind and a very strange cultural era.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he took a lot of very interesting real-world cultures and created a fictional thing around it, one that you don't see played very often, if at all.
Yeah.
Especially in Western storytelling.
Yeah.
So I very much... I gotta know.
Yeah, it's very, like, you can see a lot of that Lawrence of Arabia influence in there, and a lot of the white savior complexes in there as well, so, there you go.
Yeah, it's a very interesting story, though, very...
Yeah, the book is actually super good.
But yeah, if you read it,
That's a fun sidetrack.
Read the first 3 books. And then carry on from there if you're interested enough to. There are quite a few now, especially if you include the Sun's continuation.
Yeah, but those ones just get weird.
Get weird?
Yeah.
Dune was always weird.
Yeah, okay, but if Dune was weird, then after like book 3 or 4, just gets like
things become very strange. It's true.
Yeah.
Very weird.
We've been sidetracked into Dune chat.
Yes.
Let's reclaim ourselves from Dune chat.
Yeah, I know. I could do a whole session on Dune, but yeah. Back to where we were.
Back to Sigil.
Back to Sigil. I know.
The Silent Goddess.
The Silent Goddess.
Having a good time.
I know one of the individuals from your past that will come back to haunt you. I can warn you.
Phoebe.
Kaz. No, I'm joking.
I read that entry you wrote.
Which one?
The one where it was Phoebe writing I can't remember the title because I've been sick with COVID, but you wrote it for Karen.
Oh yeah, Phoebe's Tale. Yeah, Phoebe is... I love Phoebe. I don't know what it was when I created her way back when, the little necromancer adept child who had no idea how powerful they truly were. 200 years later. Yeah. 200 years later. Still alive. Still a child. Horribly undead. And rife with power. Yeah, you may see Phoebe again. There's a very high likelihood that Maury will come into play again, depending on the directions that you guys go. But yeah, things will, as they do in every good work of fiction, will build towards a large, conflict-laden, high threat, high potential consequence conflict. As they do, right?
If we run into Phoebe again, Jimmy will be emotional.
Oh yeah, she might
There will be emotions had.
She might. Well, she probably won't be emotional. She might be nostalgic. I'm not sure emotion's really her thing anymore. But yeah, you guys have actually met a lot of the the royal family along the way, in a weird way.
For all intents and purposes, yeah.
Aisling might come back.
Oh no. No. Fuck her.
We can
Fuck her.
handle Aisling. You forget, this is the powerful party.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, some of those powers may change a little.
Aisling could do no wrong.
She was very
She's a
sweet.
perfect little innocent girl.
She was very sweet. You do have to admit, she was very polite.
Yeah.
She was very
Vampires have to be. It's in the rules.
She didn't kill any of you. I don't even think she tried to kill any of you.
Arguable.
I mean, that was...
She violated guest right when we were her guarantors. This is very rude.
Well, she didn't make any promises.
I mean, did she nearly try to kill Az, if I'm remembering correctly?
Well,
What? No, she just lightly threw me through a couple of buildings. It's totally different. Like it
was a love tap. Yeah.
It's a love tap. Like she's got
The
a
ancient
strange
elves
love
considered
language.
this a greeting.
I can fix her.
Oh God. This is an unhealthy relationship forming. I can feel it already. I can fix her. So yeah, no, I there's so many potential possibilities for what's coming, but whatever does happen will change the face of Cairn slightly. This is going to be history, especially when we do another campaign, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it'll be history. And it'll be permanently embedded into the annals of Cairn on the timelines and everything as well. So all of the Sigil crew, all the Cairn crew both will have their official mentions for the parts they play, unless they just never make it, never get seen. Which, I mean, that's possible, right? You guys could blow up in orbit. And then the only mention you'd get would be, there was a big light in the sky.
We're in the horror specs. Big light.
Yeah, big light. Depends on how far out you are.
Big light.
Depends on how far out you are. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'm actually curious now that we've kind of gone down that route a little bit. What do you guys think your characters would think of one another? Or just think of the Cairn crew in general. In your case, Simon, I know your guys and Cairn are kind of gone their separate. Bellathir was like, "Nope, I'm out. See you later, losers."
Yeah.
He's still alive though.
Yep.
Well, I would be easy because Bryn and Saoirse have already met.
This is true. I think a couple of you have seen the others. And Bryn and Saoirse actually had a conversation.
Yeah, so Saoirse actually has a very, positive opinion of Bryn, because that's Saoirse and all of her naivete. She knows, oh man, I just talked with one of the Fae creatures who, our people got their magic from in ancient times, so this is something extra special, but here she is, she kind of went and saved me, so oh man, she's awesome. But yeah, Saoirse, I think whenever she sees Bryn in person, she's gonna be running up to Bryn and giving her a big old hug. I think Bryn, for her part, kind of sees this sweet sort of innocent girl who really has no sort of negative predilections toward her or anything, so it's Bryn kind of has that sort of protective streak blooming. that feeling she got whenever she, like, you know, rescued Watts. Like, oh, this is my small human. Like, no one messes with my small human. Like, she kind of has that same budding feeling for, like, Saoirse. So they generally like each other.
Okay. That definitely works. What about you, Ghinkgo? I'm really curious. What's Ratt and Az gonna think of each other?
Oh gosh. Well, okay. Az is gonna think he's one of the halflings that
Well, now keep in mind, Az would have seen the gnomes before they went extinct.
Oh, there were gnomes?
There were.
Okay.
They died in their mountains.
Very long time ago then.
Yeah, well, when the blight hit, they got wiped out entirely.
Oh, okay. So he's just one that somehow escaped too. I don't know. It'll be interesting. He'll assume that he's native or something, probably. Like, oh, yeah, okay, I've seen one of you before.
What about Ratt's reaction to Az, the big muscle-bound, tattooed, bald elf?
I mean, that's clearly a warrior. That's a fighter. Like, those Rat respects people who are proven warriors. Like he's a career military man, so
Yeah, they'd have that in common.
they'd have that in common, I guess. So they'd kind of look at each other and just kind of go, "Oh, is that guy a threat?"
So it depends on who shoots first.
Yeah, I guess it depends who shoots first, because both of them are a shoot first kind of guy.
This is fair.
Opening fire simultaneously builds mutual trust.
It really does. So they might get along really well.
Mutually assured destruction. All right. What about you, Jacob?
Jimmy will feel a profound pity. Perhaps even to a mildly patronizing degree. Because he'll look at this world that was once his world that these poor schmucks have to live in and go, oh, god damn, this place is trashed. You live like this.
What did you do?
What did we do? We did this. This was all us. Actually, we were there.
My bad.
Don't tell Az that.
Yeah. Maybe don't mention that.
Yes.
Well, what is it?
Our bad. We failed to stop this. We tried really hard, though.
You did. Honestly, you really did. Came close too.
Mm-hmm.
What about Listener? What do you think you'd make of Listener?
Listener's gonna be kind of mystifying to him. Listener's homegrown.
Literally.
You know, you're not gonna find an OM anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. They have not made it off planet.
Yet.
Yet.
We could take cuttings.
The psychic conversation is going to be very interesting. Jimmy's brain has become a stranger place than it used to be.
True.
So that's going to be super exciting for him. I think Listener will look upon the Outlanders with great enthusiasm for his part. Yeah. He loves a good chance to satisfy his curiosity that doesn't involve the party dying. Sadly, many such opportunities seem to come with that risk.
True.
Yeah, I feel like of all the, like, you know, other characters in the Cairn party, Bryn's going to have a particular interest in Listener, just because, like, she'll look at him and think, like, oh, this creature is fascinating. and then whenever, you know, she hears that Listener is a spiritualist, then they're going to have that little, like, bit in common, like, you know, Bryn being a spirit medium, Listener being a spiritualist, like, on top of being a plain person. I feel like they'll be fascinated with each other.
No, honestly, I could see that with that connection. Well, okay, now this is the one I'm really curious about, and I know the rest of you are too. What is Istu going to make of Genesis. I'm just picturing them kind of mean girling each other from across the room, but I could be wrong.
Thoughts will be had.
Considerations made.
Because Genesis is so passionate and Istu is so detached. As a Yonti would be, you know. But there's still some similarities between them. There's a weird dichotomy even. To where they're either going to be besties or they're going to hate each other. It's one of the two.
That's not a mistake.
I'm going to be really curious to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, it remains to be seen.
That's fair. I won't dig any deeper. I can tell you're working on it, but I won't dig any deeper. Unless you want me to.
I think I know what will happen. But I don't know if I want to say yet.
Okay. Keep your secrets. That's all good.
I do enjoy surprise.
I know.
I just feel like it's going to be, from Istu's perspective, it's going to be a very feelings-based person. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, feelings-based, protective, caged, because she needs to be. Sort of originally standoffish. This person isn't one of us type of individual. And then Genesis looking at Istu is gonna be like, there's two of them? Why?
Why did you need two?
Also, that's a really big lizard.
Yeah, I don't... What are you?
Did you just lick your eyeball?
Why is your tongue forked?
What are you?
Is it like a dragon?
What are you, and what are you wearing? What is this? What?
Karen has
What
not
manner
yet
of fashion is
developed
this?
I'm a person.
business
Thank you.
power suit. That technology is not yet known in Karen.
The power suit. Oh no, I can
Mysteriously well dressed. Yeah.
I can see the Culvark or the Becklerite pulling that one off.
Oh yeah.
That is a brilliant
This
bit
feels
of
like
fashion.
a Culvark thing.
Yeah. What's hilarious to me is, like, unintentionally, Bryn has the most, like, Cairn-looking outfit, like, of the entire bunch. Like, she's gonna roll up into Cairn and, like,
The
her,
Victorian style.
like, who she is as a person is going to, like, bring some raised eyebrows, but the outfit is not going to look a day out of place.
Nice.
Maybe a few decades old, but or a few decades out of fashion, but not out of place.
Yeah.
I had decided that I was going to say one thing and be really cryptic and then not say anything else. But
All right, but go for it.
I will either know myself by the blood on my hands or I won't.
If that's a Genesis reference.
It's an everything reference.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking about Genesis all splattered with blood. Her famous moment.
I look forward to seeing this.
I do too.
Look forward to seeing.
I do too. Well, all right. So, Draken and Wilhelm.
Your boy, Wilhelm.
Wilhelm.
Wilhelm. How are those two going to get on?
I think they're just gonna, like, look at each other. Wilhelm will respect everyone equally and treat them as individual people no matter how they appear. Just trying not to actually even react to the fact that their appearance is different than the normal. Like, you if someone was hurt, Wilhelm wouldn't draw attention to that. So this one's just built different. Same thing.
True. What about Draken?
I don't think Draken would just care. Like, everything just rolls off his back. Yeah, you people.
I don't know if Karen's ever seen glitter. This could be interesting.
I also
Lost art.
still don't even know what Draken will look like. Quite possible there is going to be a very big shift in
This is
Draken's
true.
appearance.
This is very true.
Yeah, I always pictured like the Cairn dragons, like when they're fully formed, or fully adult, to have at least body-wise be like the dragons in Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
How they're kind of like serpentine-esque, and they like snake through the air, like they fly, like not on wings, but just.
I think that's how he and I actually designed the dragon, the old dragon lore, when we sat down to work it out. Me and Draken's player there, Wilhelm.
Definitely leaning more towards an Eastern dragon than a Western dragon, like you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
More lithe.
The serpentine, snaky.
I think we technically all talked about that in Cairn chat.
Yeah. Well, that's the joy of it. We're always working. But yeah, so yeah, there's going to be some changes, definitely. So I've got one real hard question for you. And I don't mean this to spook you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably going to, no matter what. There's just no easy way to word it. But out of your two characters, for those of you who have two, obviously, not excluding you, Simon, if it came down to it, who do you expect out of the two would survive to the end? If only one could.
Ooh.
I suspect Bryn.
Bren? I can tell they got you thinking.
Practically speaking, Jimmy's just such a survivor.
That's fair.
If it comes down to mechanically who makes it through the gauntlet alive, it's gotta be Jimmy. He's just so hard to kill.
Very true.
Narratively, I think Listener still has more to do, but I don't know if that'd be enough to save him.
That's fair. Listener has had a very unique arc. Alright. What about the rest of you guys? You can chime in too, Simon, if you think Cinder won't make it.
I mean, he's died once.
It's true.
It depends on how the mechanics work out.
Yeah. Strictly.
Like the way our characters come over is if we come over different, that'll impact it.
True. There will be some shifting in how powers work once you get into Cairn space. It's something we'll do as we go, and I'm not going to like strip you of your abilities or anything like that, but we do want to still kind of keep them in line with some limitations. But it'll also open up some new possibilities at the same time. You guys are going to have access to old world magic, which you're basically going to be landing unwitting millionaires, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean this is worth more than the city? And I keep it in my pocket? Could also get you in a lot of trouble, though, too.
If anybody so much as sniffs in the direction of that elder sight that I gave Ratt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully the Sigil party won't be staying on Cairn for too long, because, yeah, because I never wanted it to be the end of Bryn's story, that she gets stuck on Cairn. I always intended for her to go back to Sigil after all this.
Yeah, I'm trapped forever. Well, like I said, nothing is set in stone as far as all that goes, so I don't worry. I haven't written the end of your story yet because it's going to depend largely on you. I know a lot of possibilities. I know the direction that the prophecy is taking you, for instance, you know, and how the events of the prophecy are going to go. But as far as how you react to them, I can't predetermine, obviously. And no, I'm not asking that because I'm planning on killing off one of each of your characters. So don't think that either.
Oh, of course, of course.
Because I do have plans for Saoirse after the campaign where I would like her story after the prophecy to end up.
Yeah, I think we all kind of think about these things.
Yeah. But nobody wants to go.
The way that I wrote Istu, which is yet to be observed, I would like them to be able to get back to that task.
Yeah. And like I said, you guys know me. I'm not out to murder everyone. I'm out to try. So far, unsuccessfully. I'm either very kind or really bad at this. One of the two.
We were literally like at blast zone, like ground zero. Boom! You know what? Some of you didn't die. Wow.
You could
Who knew it was going to blow up like that?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. There was a chance you could have all died in that, truth be told, if the three of you hadn't dove into that little manhole cover with Cinder soaking all the damage.
A wizard with high con and the tough feat. And lucky. I knew that was a good feat.
Yeah.
It's very good.
But you guys made it, as you tend to do. So, yeah. So do you guys want a little teaser as far as your first destination?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah. So your first destination is going to be completely unexplored territory. You will be landing on the Mother's Head.
Yes.
I kind of figured, honestly.
At last.
So yes, you will be setting down your feet on the skull of an ancient dead primordial goddess.
We're gonna land, and Jim's gonna look around, and he's gonna go, "Oh, this has got to be sacrilegious." Nobody wrote this one down because it must have been like obvious. This has got to be a sin, though.
Oh, I'm turning that into a bullet.
Time to start tap dancing.
What's the atmosphere here like?
That'll be a good question. That'll be a very good question. But we will answer that when we do come back, which I'm looking forward to very, very much. As well as the Cairn campaign, I'm very much looking forward to where that's headed. I know it's been very interesting so far. For me, from a writer's perspective, now that you're in the domes of the Shining Eyes. And of course, Simon, if you want back into that campaign as well, just hit me up. Yeah, I can fit you in. Maybe we'll bring Kaz back from the dead. Unfortunately,
oh my God, that would be amazing.
Unfortunately, Jeff is gone, but Kaz, they never saw the body.
That's true. I was tempted back when I put Belther in. Oh, could bring back Kaz. Maybe.
No. Kaz was well liked. He's a tough little dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I kept rolling near maximum for every level. Every hit point was like 11 or 12 every time. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah. He was a beefcake.
You need a lot of those in Cairn,
He was a beefcake.
because they don't come back.
And he survived a long time.
Yeah. And I'm sure everyone would be very, very happy to see Kaz back again. If you want to play Kaz.
And shocked.
I'm very shocked. We're a long way away now.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good bit. But, well, I'll tell you what, do you guys have any other questions or comments for me? I'm curious if you do.
None.
Questions?
I'm very pleased,
Yeah?
and I got nothing left. I'm starting to burn down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll probably call it a little early tonight, unless you guys have anything else you want to go over. But I leave that to you. I have enjoyed it. I love these roundtable sessions. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What were you saying, Master Miss? I saw you key up there.
I don't know, I'm just thinking about things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting more thought into what it's gonna be like when we eventually cross paths with each other. And we were asking about like what we'll think of our own characters, but do we also kind of need to think about like what it's gonna be like to meet the party?
Yeah.
Because the Karen party has that whole hive mind thing going on. We can talk, you know.
Yeah.
We can have a little chat with each other.
Well, the Karen party has abilities and powers that the Sigil party has never encountered or imagined. Like when the Sigil party thinks psychic, they're thinking, I know some like psychic lance and mind splinter spells and stuff. Whereas Genesis is like, I will recreate the world around you into nothing but hellish fire.
Yeah, let me just turn that glass into a liquid real quick.
Genesis is
I don't know. We need
scary.
Nil.
Yeah, well, I think Genesis is actually potentially scarier than Nil, because Nil was limited by her powers, whereas Genesis is limited by her level.
That's the point.
Genesis could be one of the most dangerous people on the planet by the time she maxes out.
I can just think of whatever I want.
But at the same time, a 20th level musician can wipe out a town with a song. And, you know, a 20th level spiritualist can wipe out a town just as easily.
With a dead army.
Yeah.
20th level mentalists can consume the town and their minds and their souls and knowledge.
Brain is mine.
Yeah.
Give it here. Thanks.
But, you know, a level 20 benevolent on the dark side of things can get pretty nasty, too. Those heretics are scary.
And yeah, on the mention of Wilhelm, who is also, by the way, a spiritualist, I thought, with like a level, right?
Yeah.
At this point, 5 levels.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's just been stockpiling power over there. Look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Getting up there.
He's one of those ones that kind of sneaks it in on you.
So to a point, he'll have like that in common with a listener as well. So there's that common thread too.
Should be interesting. Nonetheless.
It's fun. It allows us to talk shop a little bit, which
Yeah.
they both enjoy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, this has been a fascinating experience, and I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you like the round table layout. I worked on that for a good while today. I had fun making that and getting the little slideshows together for you and
The
everything.
little slides are fun.
Yeah. The layout's very nice.
Yeah, it was fun creating it. But yeah, unless you guys got anything else, we'll wrap here. You all good?
I'm good to go over here.
Yeah.
I was yawning so hugely I couldn't answer. Yes. I had a blast.
All right. Well, I love you guys. Simon, it is so good to have you back.
Truly a pleasure to see you again, my friend.
We have missed you dearly, and I'm looking forward to getting you back in the gamer seat.
Hell yeah.
Very much, very much. But I do.
No one more than me.
No one more than Master Miss.
No one more than me.
This is true.
Please.
Yes, Master Miss was
Appreciate
trying
you
to.
taking care
She was trying to roleplay between both characters. It was awkward. How are you? I'm fine. What'd you do today? Not much. Yeah. I'm joking. She did a much better job than that.
There's no camera here, So you just can't see the riz that I have with myself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling myself right now as I cringe and try not to watch any of the videos back ever.
The VODs, they are forbidden.
No.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have a few days where I try and get caught up on those vids. So
They're all up there.
Yeah.
I wish you wouldn't.
No, watch.
No.
Rewind and play back a bunch of times, whole 9 yards.
I'll just hit church up to link me to the important bits. You know.
I'll just
Please.
here's the whole season.
Yeah.
Please
We'll
just
see what can be done.
leave out the part where we found those spores, okay?
Oh no.
Oh, now I want to find that particular thing. Yeah.
No.
I mean, hey, a lot of the episode recaps are in the Neon Lich Discord, which, Church, you should really post the one from episode 21 in there. I sent it to you.
Oh, did I miss that one?
Just read it. Maybe
Yeah.
just read the recaps instead of watching the things.
But they are all linked. So.
Or read them while you're watching. Even better.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll post that recap if I forgot to. I was probably in the middle of something. But yeah, guys, like I said, I love you guys. This is a great experience. I'm so glad that we've done this and we're continuing to do this, and you followed us through homebrew all the way through to Neon Lich now, and now we have 10 million people watching. The Twitch millions
choose
are
to
rolling
believe
in.
you. I will not check.
We're going to start our gamer cult soon in a castle somewhere, where we're just going to live and game and shower in a bouncy castle. That's pretty much the extent of our lives from there on out.
Question for the next one.
Yeah.
If there is a next one between now and the end. Can we maybe think about, like, spell balancing? Since we're merging the parties, there's more potential for overlap.
That begs a super interesting question of how you're gonna handle the mechanical differences.
Well, I've got some ideas. I have been chewing on this in my mind, and I don't want to give too much away because I want your characters to be surprised when it happens. Because like your spellcasters from Sigil, for instance, will have no way of knowing that things may work a little differently in Cairn until they try it. So
As long as they're not too different, because I built Bryn in a very specific way, and I would be pretty upset if some of her spells didn't work the way that I think that they would work.
we will see.
Depends on how much home brewing you did, because if I don't like it, I may say, no, don't like that, want that to work the old way.
Yeah, we'll just have to adapt, like everyone else.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. It's still going to be fun no matter what happens. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Don't worry.
As long as you're thinking about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, constantly.
Yeah, my worry isn't that it will be unplayable. My worry is that the time it takes us to adapt is going to slow down the pace of what you've planned for the day. If we switch like mental streams into trying to work out the mechanics and understand the mechanics, we're going to have time during the session to do that at a reasonable pace.
Yeah.
I know one of the things that was a problem for me playing the Mystic was it was so slow, right?
Yeah. No, it won't be anything that drastic. And
Okay.
the changes, the onus on the changes in this case will be on me.
Okay.
So I'll be the one that just says, you do this, and I say, well, this happens. So it won't be anything too drastic like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at, like, okay, this is what's happened. Okay, hearing this from the DM, taking that in as the way that the setting is. Like, that's fact, right? And then you just take that and you go from there, right?
Yep. Yeah. Just trust me. I'll guide you.
Believe. I believe.
I believe I can fly. No, sorry.
As a note, I will not be singing. Thank you.
Next party will be all musicians. You all have to sing.
Oh, no.
Simon, I know you're gold.
It's got it covered.
Got it.
All right.
But But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. Thank you guys who are out there, have been watching and sitting with us, especially those of you who've been watching us for a long time. Thank you guys. Like, you really, having an audience makes this a whole unique experience for us. It makes it feel like we're doing a serial TV show or something, or radio broadcast, which is twice as much fun. One of the coolest things, and I've always said this about art of any form, is if you're not sharing it, you're pee-peeing in the wind. So art is meant to be shared, and we're sharing our art with you, and so we love that you come and watch us when you do, either after the fact or while we're doing it. So we love you. Thank you very, very much from the bottom to the tops of our hearts, those of us who still have them here at Neon Lich Studios. And we will be back. Let me see, I gotta get this right. We will be back Wednesday with Deadlands.
Yeah.
Thursday with Top Secret.
Oh.
Friday with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Saturday we return to Cairn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whew. So much going on. It's amazing. But yes.
Apply to the schedule.
Stay tuned if you're watching. I will try to find somebody to raid real quick. If there is someone. According to this, we're still playing Top Secret. I just noticed that.
Wow.
No, not sure about that.
It's a top secret round table.
It is so secret, even we didn't know.
I know. Surprise! But yeah, so join our Discord. We do still have more games coming. This is your chance to get in on them. We do actively recruit through there, and we would love to hear from you. So stay tuned, and we will see you soon. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.